All right, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Sonic Promos webinar. We will be talking about awards this time. I'd like to welcome you, remind you that you'll have an opportunity to ask questions at the end. You'll also be asked to use your phone along the way. So if you do not have it ready, you can certainly access it now. We're going to get started. Please welcome to the stage me. Hey everybody, Seth here from Sonic Promos. Excited to have you joining us again. I've got the bucket cap flipped to something a little bit more formal because today we are talking about awards and recognition. This is a great time now as we get towards the end of the year. Companies are starting to recognize their employees for work that's being done. Companies are recognizing their staff and their clients for the work that they've done over this past year. And so there's a lot of ways that you can recognize people. And today we're really going to dive into that and we'll get started. So look forward to talking about it a little bit more. All right, so a reminder that the Sonic Promos hat trick is divided into three parts. We talk a little bit about what's trending, we talk about how to put it into practice, and then we talk a little bit about some tips and tricks that you can learn and know a little bit about, and in this case, how you can put some awards programs into action. So let's just jump right in. Why awards and recognition? And so the purpose of this is to really understand the impact of awards and recognition. And some of these stats are from our industry publications. When it comes to awards and recognition, those organizations that actually have recognition programs in place have 31% lower voluntary turnover than those without. And so what does that mean? Well, first off, are you recognizing your people? Are you recognizing their years of service? Are you recognizing them coming into your company? Are you recognizing their sales efforts? Are you recognizing safety? Those are the types of programs that we talk about, and those are the types of programs that companies will use to ultimately recognize their staff and sometimes their clients. And because of those programs, you ultimately have a lot more engagement. Organizations that have a sophisticated recognition program are 12 times more likely to have strong business outcomes. So we talked a little bit just briefly about what those programs could be and what is sophisticated. Well, a years of service program is a great example. Companies recognize people either for the number of years they've been working there, or maybe if it's safety, years of safety. When you've got a program like that and you know that it's ongoing, you give people something to consistently be working towards. The same thing with new hire onboarding. It's important to really engage people right when they come in, and by ensuring that they have been onboarded strongly, you have a much better chance of being able to retain them and having them stay around longer. You also are going to have them be more engaged with the company culture. So by implementing an effective awards program, you can ensure a lot of really positive outcomes, including the bottom line, because it costs so much more to retain existing employees. Excuse me, it costs so much more to gain new employees than it does to retain the existing employees. So those are some examples of why implementing these programs can have long-term benefits. All right, now associations and organizations with external awards programs, this is also really popular. These programs are done to help to spread awareness. Often you'll see things like, donate to this organization and you'll get a t-shirt. By wearing the t-shirt, you're helping to spread awareness, but you're also helping to engage and also provide, additional funding that can help those organizations to grow, with their existing programs. So it helps with enhancing membership growth, and it also helps with recruitment programs. And some of these programs, especially if you're doing something that's just a pop-up, it can really help to increase non-dues revenue. You'll see a lot of organizations will pop up stores with different merchandise that they can use to help to reinforce their own brand. So these are different ways that companies are using items to help to reinforce and engage and recognize participation. All right, so we're gonna take a quick intermission here. I just want to remind everybody that if you've got questions, please make sure that you fill them in the chat here and we'll get to them. Our next section is to talk a little bit about the types of awards and recognition that are out there. This is a little bit more show and tell. Hopefully you'll see some things that you really like. All right, so when we talk about awards and recognition, most people think about awards. I think that's the most common idea is, you're ordering glass, you're ordering a trophy, you're ordering a plaque. And the truth is that, so many of these items look the same. So how can you, just step it up a little bit? And one of those ways is by putting 3D etching on some glass. What you actually are doing is taking laser and you're taking your design and throwing that laser and breaking little cracks inside of your crystal, which then provides you with that design inside of the glass. It gives you the ability to see something that looks almost three-dimensional, like it's floating. You have the ability to get some really, really great tightness of the design. You can see the crispness of like the flowers in the vase there, and you can see the detail in the scales. And so this provides a lot of opportunity to, especially if you've got a lot of information that you want to provide. Some awards are limited. So by being able to utilize the entire piece on the inside, you have something that can be, you've got a really nice high perceived value, and you are not limited to the designs that you might be putting in there. Now, a lot of us are competitive here, so we've got runners and we've got bikers, and I'm a hiker myself. This is an example of achievement apparel. So once you complete a certain number of hikes, you ultimately earn your Million Fleet embroidery on your jacket. And there's all sorts of experiences that are out there, whether it's running in a race or doing on some type of long hike, or visiting all the national parks. There's all sorts of programs that are out there that people work towards just to get this recognition because it means something to them. So if you've got a program where maybe you've got a special jacket and you want to give to people, when they've earned their 5-year, years of service at your company, and they get the special jacket, not unlike winning the Masters and you get your green jacket. So these are special recognition that people who are participating in those programs also recognize that that person has earned that. And those are, whether it's a hat or whether it's a jacket, there's all sorts of achievement apparel programs that you can implement, and not on a huge level. And then, maybe you want to do something different out there. So that's where unconventional awards come in, whether it's, giant rings, or whether it's, wear around your neck blings. There's all sorts of options that are available that we can work on to either do totally custom or to take something that exists and then add your design to it. We've done championship belts for clients. And we've done all sorts of emblematic jewelry for them. So if that's something that you want to offer to, perhaps you have somebody who's been with your company for 50 years and they've gotten everything, and what could you possibly give them? That's where some sort of unconventional award might be the way to go. So if you've got, a potential, a potential project, please ask us and we can help you with that. We talked a little bit about years of service, and years of service are great. They also can be very expensive when it comes to recognition. So one of the programs that we really like is the award series that's on the right-hand side. And when you're working on a program like this, you can give your recipient the original award, and then you can add additional pieces to that award as they go up in years of service. Instead of giving a $150 or $200 award year after year after year, maybe you're giving a nice $300 award one time, and then you're giving a $50 piece every couple of years, depending on what that year of service is. You can use the exact same type of award for sales benefits. So if you've done $1 million in sales, or you've earned $2 million in sales, same thing. If you've got people who have earned earn certain levels within their company, depending on, certain service levels. You can recognize that without having to give the same award over and over and over again. So that's why we really like that particular type of award. And then years of service in general, once you know that that's a program that you want to do, it's very easy to put together something where you say, okay, this year we've got 1 year, 5 1 year people, 3 3 year people, and 10 5 year people, and implement a full program that can work for everybody and still do different branding. So talk to our team about how you can implement programs like that, even if it's, on a small scale. Most award programs start small and scale up. So talk to us and let us show you what some of the solutions could be. All right, so try this. We're always asked about sustainability. We're always asked about simplification. And we're really like a lot of these, what we would call modern minimalism awards. You take something that is a nice piece of material, and then you just add a very simple decoration to it. Or you take two types of material and you merge them together. Maybe you're adding some posts, or you're adding a piece of crystal and you're attaching it to a piece of wood. Something like this borders on art, but it also borders on recognition. It's sometimes a little bit easier for somebody to showcase on a mantle or on their desk, or I mean, even on their nightstand, if that was something that they really felt it was necessary. So these are also some, ideas for awards that often are not thought of because we so often are going right to a crystal, acrylics, and glass. So if you're interested in seeing what else is out there, please talk to somebody on our team. And then we always talk at Sonic that awards and recognition don't need to be awards and recognition. They don't need to be an actual award. They can be functional. The ability to personalize items now is so easy, and you can do it on everything from bags to drinkware to technology. I mean, who doesn't want a sound bar with their name etched across the front? This type of personalization within awards and recognition really helps to engage your audience into that program. If you are just saying, hey, here's your award, you haven't really given them an opportunity to have some say in their recognition. And if you've got a program that's just getting started, you might consider going that way as opposed to just going straight to the award. What works for some people doesn't work for everybody else. And we've found that a lot of times by giving people a bit of a freedom of choice between something personalized versus something that's an award, they usually will pick something that's functional, that has their name on it, versus something that's just an award. So if you want to take an opportunity to see what resonates with people, try adding personalization to an awards and recognition program. There's tons of ways to do it, and we can show you how. Okay, intermission time. Look at this. I've got my hat here from the Walt Disney World Marathon, and I know it might be hard to tell from my build here, but I have actually run the Disney World Marathon. This one was in, as you can see, 1999, 25 years ago, which is amazing that they would let a 7-year-old run the marathon, but nonetheless, as you can see, I've held on to this just like anybody else usually holds on to some type of recognition piece that is used to symbolize completion of an activity. And in this case, for me, it was the completion of the half marathon, and I still hold on to it. I don't wear it all the time, but I do still wear it. Okay, so reminder again, if you've got any questions, please put them in, and we'll answer them after our last session. Okay, so let's talk a little bit deeper about recognition opportunities. I've mentioned them a few times, and what I want to say is that at Sonic, we call these anchor programs. The reason that we call them anchor programs is because programs like these actually can be used to anchor all sorts of ongoing brand initiatives within a company. If you've got a years of service program, that's an easy way to build a company store, because you've got different items that are being given out to people. You can just change the decoration. You can have one decoration say years of service. You can have the other one just be the company. So those are a great program to be able to implement some new product that you can share with people. Performance goals. We've talked about, sales goals. We've talked about milestones, and these are great ways to recognize people. We can help you to source all sorts of awards, whether they are different sizes, whether they're different amounts. You can have them based on what the performance goal is. If you hit, this amount of sales, then you can choose from these items. If you hit this, you can choose this item. So those are also great opportunities for recognition. Holidays, the reason that we're talking about this is the time that companies start to decide whether or not they want to put some budget towards recognizing their employees and their clients. And the holidays are a great way to do that. You certainly want your team to know that you recognize them and you appreciate the work that they're doing. And so by implementing a holiday program, you can do that. And we also are big on, setting up a holiday program at the start of the year. It doesn't have to be at the end of the year. So don't feel a rush now to deliver before the end of the year. You can certainly, send a note, let people know that something nice is coming, and then deliver after the first of the year to really kick the year off. So, and it doesn't need to just be holidays. I mean, this holiday, there's all sorts of other holidays that you can recognize people with. Maybe you like to do something once a month. And so you can use some of the holidays to recognize people with some sort of branded item. Company milestones. Maybe your company has closed a big deal and you want to do some sort of award and recognition for everybody. Or maybe you want to give everybody a jacket for closing a particular program. Or maybe you just bought a new company and you want to give everybody an item that has both names of those companies on them. Company milestones are great for recognizing people and the work that they've done. Conferences and events. There's always awards programs that are going on at conferences. It's also a great time to, recognize those companies and those those people who have provided different services, who have performed on a much higher level. So you can recognize them with all sorts of awards and recognition. And then new hire onboarding. This is a big one. It's a great one, again, for helping to scale into a store program. You're going to welcome your people. You're going to give them a jacket and a backpack and a tumbler. So you could just as easily order a few extra of those items and begin to scale and build a company store for yourself. By using existing items that are earmarked for a variety of programs, you can maximize that spend altogether, and you can use them in different places because you've got different audiences that are receiving them for different needs. So those are some really huge recognition opportunities that we focus on with our clients. And so when we get to it, the things that we want to talk to our clients about is understanding what the distribution method is. We work with a lot of global companies. And so it's great if you want to give everybody an award all over the world. But if a $100 award is going to cost $300 to ship, maybe we need to reevaluate what you want to give to people because the perceived value is just not going to be there. So we always want to understand what the distribution method is. And then we can then determine what the right items might be for you. And it doesn't always have to be a physical item. There's lots of digital rewards that are out there that we work on with our clients that they can do things on their own. And you can still provide them with some sort of recognition of a job well done. Spell check and then spell check and then spell check again. We like to think that we know what things are supposed to be spelled. When it comes to names, we just don't. And so if you put the wrong names on information on your awards, they're most likely going to print wrong. And so the best that we can do is work together to make sure that we are spelling names right. We'll always do our best to spell check the real words, but when it comes to names, we need you. And then know what it is you want to put on those awards. It's really challenging sometimes to be able to put a whole logo and a whole bunch of words and then a name and then a year. So knowing what it is that you want to get on there is really critical. And then what if you run out of time? Because it happens all the time. Well, the first thing we tell you to do, consider getting a stock award for photographs, get it to your event if you need to take pictures, and then you can drop ship the customized pieces for later. A lot of people don't even want to carry those awards home with them. So you can save yourself a lot of headache by rushing the items out and people potentially leaving them behind by just planning a little bit ahead. And we can help you to do that. All right. And then the last thing, monthly or quarterly awards. We do tons of programs like this. Clients will do 12, star awards every quarter, or they do a year, they do safety awards they do for their most safe people every quarter. Maybe sometimes it's a polo shirt, sometimes it's a award, sometimes it's a JBL speaker. We can help you to implement those programs by knowing that you're going to do 48 of those awards over the course of a year. We can help to implement a program that you know what everything's going to be, as opposed to doing 4 sort of separate orders every single time. So talk to us about that. Okay, before we go, here's an opportunity to scan this QR code, and we will be sending everybody a personalized item. Pretty simple, it makes sense, right? And we'll look and see if there's any questions. And while we've got that, I did want to show everybody a couple of quick awards. I mentioned our Simplified Award here. This is an example. It's Adam Mallory's award with some acrylic. It's got some posts on it. Really very simple, but a lot of nice imprint area for you to do something. Does not break the bank. It doesn't all need to be crystal. I mentioned the 3D. So here's an example. This award, never mind the year. The reason it's still from 2015 is because it's awesome. And then if you turn the light on, you can see how you can really give it some extra impact there. One other thing that we like, here's a pillar award. This one was for Jay. Hey, Jay. And on it is a QR code. The QR code opens up a video from the president of the company. So other ways that you can take awards and really take them to the next level. I don't see any questions, which is usually a sign that we always have done an awesome job. And we will reach out to everybody after our event here. Make sure that we've got your details. I see that the link is now up. If you want to claim your gift, you didn't have your phone, or you're still using, a flip phone or something. I want to thank everybody once again for joining us, and we'll hope to see you again soon. Don't forget to follow us on social media, sonicpromos.com, and all that stuff. Thanks so much. Hope you have a great Thanksgiving, and we will talk to you all soon. Bye-bye.